Fifth grade, Mr. Hahn here. Time for us to do a little reviewing on your pre-test so you can prep for the test on Friday. So I'm going to share my screen. If you want to grab out your pre-test and your answers, we will correct that together. We'll just have ourselves a good old time here. And then if you have some questions, you can probably ask at some point a little later on here, but let's start here. Pablo brought 3 juice boxes for 77 cents each. If the clerk gave him $5, how much money should get back? So if you bought 3 of these guys for 77 cents each, you could do it multiple ways, but it's probably best just to do 77 times 3. Remember, this is money. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 21 and 2 is 23. This needs to be in dollars and cents. So your total bill would be $2.31, but you gave them $5. So we have to do a little subtracting here. $2.31. Do some borrowing. This becomes a 10, but I have to borrow, making that a 9. This becomes a 10, so you get 9, 6, boom. Looks like you're going to get back $2.69. So there is problem number 1. Number 2 says to list all factors of 24 that are also factors of 32. You definitely just want to make sure you list all the factors of each and then look at their overlap. Please, please, please write them down in pairs. You have 1 times 24. You're going to have 2 times 12. You're going to have 3 times 8. And you're going to have 4 times 6. Those are all the factors of 24. Factors of 32, 1 and 32. 2 and half of 32, which is 16. 3 doesn't, but 4 times 8 is 32. 5, 6, 7, that's all there are. So you're supposed to list ones that they have in common. So let's take a look. They have 1s in common. They have 2s in common. They have 4s in common. They have 8s in common. And that looks like it's it. So 1, 2, 4, and 8 are the ones that they have in common. Number 3, name the shaded portion of this square as a fraction. If you count, I believe there are 10, this is a 10 by 10 sort of square, so there is 100 total squares, and you want the fraction of that. How many are shaded? Well, this is 10 in this row here, 10 in this row, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 of the 100 squares are shaded, and that as a decimal number is 55 hundredths, or 0.55. Fraction and decimal. Fraction and decimal. Problem number 4, using words to write this as a decimal number. Let me go a little smaller here. First of all, remember you say the number in front of the decimal, so that is 290. 290. The word decimal is the and you write the number that's after the decimal, which is 30-7. And then remember, you must finish off with the place of the last digit. It's in the hundredths place. So I have to write hundredths, THS. Please don't get confused. Some people, I think, if I remember in the past, they get confused. This is just a period at the end of a sentence. It's not another decimal. But it can be kind of confusing there. So problem number 5. Oh, where'd 5 go? Did I miss 5? Uh-oh. 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 I'm going to go back and look and see if I can find problem number 5. Did I cut it off at some point? Yes, I did. Give me 2 seconds. I will splice it in here. Go back to where we were at here. I am going to put problem number 5 right here. Uh-oh. I don't see problem number 5. Try it again, kids. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on. Tell you what, here, I'll just put it on a whole different page. We'll get to it in a minute. Oh, it's probably there. I just didn't see it. Sure. Here's problem number 5. Write 1900ths as a decimal number. Remember, that's just as easy as this. You write the number 19. Poof. You write the number 19. The 9 has to be in the hundredths place, so this is the tens place. So the decimal goes right there. 19 hundredths. 19 hundredths. There we go. Now back to where we were. Problem number 6. Digits to write the number 8 and 7/10. 8. The word and is a decimal, and the 7 is in the tenths place. The tenths place is the first place right after the decimal. 8 and 7/10. Problem number 7. The tenths place, ladies and gentlemen, is the very first place right after the decimal. So the digit in the tenths place is the 8. The 9 is in the hundredths place. So I see many people get that wrong. Be very careful with that. We got to get rid of this thing. I see now where that one went. Oops. Problem number 8 says, find the length of the line to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. Centimeter, ladies and gentlemen. So here's again how that works. It is 4 whole centimeters, so you have to have the whole number. And then remember, each line after is a millimeter, but in centimeters, that's whatever decimal. You put the decimal, and then you just count the number of tick marks after 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 4 6/10 of the next centimeter. 4.6. If it asked you for it in millimeters, it would be 46, but in centimeters, it's 4.6. Problem number 9, even though it might look like they're equal, they are not. Remember, if you're comparing, you look at the numbers in front of the decimal, and they're both zeros, so you can't look there. The first digit after the decimal here is a 3. The first digit after the decimal there is a 0. This, no matter what happens, will be bigger than the other one because the 3 is in the tens place, and that has nothing in the tens place. Problem number 10, estimating the product of 41 and 76. That means you make these numbers easy to work with. That would be 40, and that we would change to 80, and that product would be 3,200. 40 times 80. Hopefully this is problem 11, or do I have to grab problem 11 off of the other sheet? Yep, I missed problem number 11 too, so let me find that one. Problem number 11, well, that's a pretty simple one, but we will still do it. Problem number 11 looks like such. Poof. This is just a matter of adding these together. 471, 18, 924, 3,240, and I'm just going to add the 1 to that just so I don't have to have a whole other row there. So 2 plus 8 is 10. You get 14. Carry the 1. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. Carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 6 is 16. And it looks to me like we get 4,654 for problem number 11. Now we can forge on to problem number 12. Problem number 12 is a subtraction problem, and I will rewrite it rather than trying to do it on that small piece right there. 12,876. Do some borrowing. This becomes a 10, which becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. 6 from 10 is 4. This is a 7 from 9 is 2. 8 from 14 is 6. And I have nothing left, so it's just simply 624. Same thing for problem number 13. I found the bigger the space I take, the better my chances of getting this right are 924 times 350. Okay, I am just, to make life simple, I'm going to multiply through by my 0. 0 times 4, 0 times 2, and 0 times 9. When I get to the tens place, I automatically add that 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 45 plus 1 is 46. When I get to the hundreds place, I drop 2 zeros. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 3 times 9 is 27. These are all the numbers I add together. I get 0, 0, 4, 13, carry the 1, 11 plus 1 is 12, carry the 1, 3. Please, please, please put your commas in there just to make me happy. I get 323,400. Hopefully I'm getting these right. There's a good chance I'll get one wrong eventually here. Let's see, 14, this is a division problem. And it's the bottom into the top, so it's 4, 2, 1, 4 divided by 7. 7 doesn't go into 4, but it goes into 42 6 times. Here's where you have to be very careful when you subtract and bring down. When I bring down, 7 doesn't go into 1, but I brought a number down, so I have to put a number up there. That's where the 0 comes from, and then I bring another number down. The next number was a 4, so this becomes 14, and 7 goes nicely into 14 2 times with nothing left over. So 602 is my answer for that. Problem number 15, boys and girls. Fortunately, because of the commutative property of multiplication, I can make my life a whole lot easier. Rather than multiplying 35 times 60 right off the bat, I would take 35 times 2 because it's going to give me an easy number to work with. 35 times 2 is 70. And then it's pretty easy. I still have 70 times 60 to work with. And 70 times 60, I'm going to hang out that 1 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 7 is 42. 4,200 should be my answer for that. Problem number 16. 7 into 980. I have my 980. I'm dividing it by 7. 7 goes into 9 one whole time. Subtract, I bring down. 7 goes into 28 4 times, and I get 28. Now, please don't stop there. Why? Because you still have one more number to bring down, and I have to do that. 7 doesn't go into it, but I still need to keep that space up there. It's 140, not 14. Hopefully you got that as your answer as well. 17, another division problem. Looks like we're getting all divided out here. Let's try that. It's $98.40 divided by 60. Please make sure you give your answer in dollars because that's what it is. 60 goes into 98 only once because 2 would make it 120, so we know that's just 60. I subtract. I get 38, which is good because it's less than 60. I bring down. How many times will 60 go into 384? Now, what I like to do when I get to this point to give me some kind of an idea is look at just the beginning 6 and the first 2 digits here. How many times will 60 go into 38? And that's about 6 times. So let's try. 60 times 6 is 360. Looks like a good number to me. I get 360 and subtract. 24 is good. I bring down. And how many times will 6 go into 24? It looks like 4 times. Now please know, that works out nicely and evenly. Please know that it is not $164. I have to bring my decimal up. It's $1.64. Be careful with that, $1.64. Problem number 18. Again, as always, fractions, I always write up and down. We need to do this part first and then subtract from 7. 4 2/5 minus 1 1/5. 1/5 from 2/5 is 1/5. And 1 from 4 is 3. So now I have 7, do that over here, minus 3 1/5. And I can't subtract 1/5 from nothing, so I have to borrow from the 7. It becomes a 6. I took 1 away from that, so I need to make a fraction over here that's the same as 1, but it has to have the same bottom as this, so that's why I pick 5/5. 1/5 from 5/5 is 4/5, and 3 from 6 is 3. So my answer to this is 3 4/5. 3 4/5. We're in the home stretch now, just a couple more. Maybe we'll pick a new and exciting color. How about an ugly green? These are all adding. I would add them up and down. 1 2/5 plus 3 2/5 gives me 4/5 and 4. And then I'm going to add 5 1/5 to that. 4 4/5 plus 5 1/5. I get 5/5 for my fraction, and 4 plus 9. 4 plus 4, 5 plus 4 is 9. I can't leave 5/5 because it's kind of an improper fraction. 5/5 is the same as 1, so I have to add that 1 to the 9, and that gives me 10 as my final answer. And finally, the last problem here is divide and write the quotient as a mixed number. So they told you exactly what to do. You are going to take 19 and you are going to divide it by 3. And I need to make a mixed number as my answer. 3 goes in 19 6 whole times. I cannot leave it as a remainder of 1, but I make a fraction out of what's left. Remember, the 1 is the top number, and whatever my divisor was is my bottom number. So the answer to that was 6 1/3. And that, ladies and gentlemen, should be the entire test. Hopefully that all works. I think I will stop recording.